So I typically make between $2,000 to $3,000 per day in profit by taking sales calls for different influencers and creators and selling their coaching programs, mentorships, and masterminds. And in this video, I want to show you exactly how to find these people. I get a lot of people reaching out to me on Instagram asking me like, how do I find good remote sales jobs for influencers we can make 5 to 10K a month? So I want to show you exactly how to do that in the most effective way that I've found out of all different methods. And I've tried a bunch of different things. I've also helped over 100 guys in my own community to land good high-ticket sales roles and make between 5 to 10K a month. So I'm going to show you the most effective way to do so, straight to the point, step by step, exactly what to do, because there's a lot of different methods. And probably most of you guys right now, what you're doing is you're sending cold DMs on Instagram to business owners. That's what I used to do back in the day, or you're going into like Facebook groups. And the thing is, like, those methods definitely work. You can land roles, but it's very saturated. Like pretty much everyone at this point is going out and DMing business owners. Their DMs are flooded by like hundreds of people, like per day sometimes, looking to go and do appointment setting and closing for them. So there are better methods for sure. If you go on Facebook groups, you will get told that you're supposed to like buy some program to, or like buy your access into their like roles. Usually that's kind of like a scammy thing, so you don't want to do that. So I'm gonna tell you what to do instead, and obviously like the fastest track to get into the best roles is going to be to like invest and get into communities. That's at this point, because most of these online coaches and people that have sales roles in their businesses, they've been burned a lot by hiring like beginner reps. Usually they would rather go to someone who's training reps and just hire directly from like a trusted source. So if you just want to like speed up and just get straight to like the good roles, you just pay yourself into networks like my network or other people, and you will just get access to the best roles that are already pre-vetted without having to do all the work yourself, But if you want to go out and like actually do the work yourself, I'm going to give you some ways to do that without having to pay your way into it. The first thing is to start looking further than just the business owners, okay? Because the thing is that cold DMs are extremely powerful. A lot of very successful business owners, they use cold DMs to land their big clients, But when you're reaching out to business owners, you just end up becoming one of these like hundreds of thousands of people that just do the exact same thing, and you don't stand out whatsoever unless you do something completely crazy, So a way better way to just like automatically stand out is, instead of competing with everyone that reaching out to the business owners, if you compete in like a smaller pond, where less people are competing against you, by reaching out to different people in the business, you will get a higher likelihood of getting responses without having to like do these crazy like outreach messages and do crazy like stuff up front, okay? How do you do that, okay? It's by, instead of reaching out to the business owner and like the influencer that has like 500,000 followers on Instagram, you find people in the business. You find the appointment setters, you find the closers, or ideally the sales managers in that company, or even the growth operators, like the guy that's maybe like managing the team. And if you really want the secret to this, it's to reach out to people that are growth operators or people that run info product agencies. If you don't know what this is, it's basically people that have a business where they manage the sales team and usually the marketing department for other info businesses, So it's a lot of guys that maybe have between 500 to like 2,000 followers on Instagram, so pretty small Instagrams, but they manage the entire sales team and the marketing department and the entire backend for massive companies doing like 700K, a million, 2 million per month, massive businesses that you want to go in and sell it for, like influencers and creators. These are the perfect guys to reach out to, okay? Because they will actually see your message when you reach out to them, and they usually manage some pretty big offers as well that you can get connected to, and it will actually get seen by, because you're reaching out to them instead of the business owner, and actually get seen by someone that's gonna allow you to eventually get into these big offers. This is literally the secret to actually stand out in your outreach, because these guys, sales managers, closers, appointment setters in the business, they do not get all these messages that the business owners get, So when you message them with like a personalized video, which is what I recommend you to do, you will automatically stand out, because maybe they have like 500 to like 2,000 followers, It's so much easier to stand out in their DMs. So what you want to do is you want to send them personalized Loom videos. So if you don't know what Loom is, basically a software where you can record yourself and record your screen. You want to take the time out of your day to just like sit down, research the sales manager, the business owner, and like figure out some personal stuff about them, where they've been, where they've traveled to, what the business is about, what makes the business stand out compared to other businesses in the same niche. is make a video that showcases you've actually taken the time to figure out what the business actually is about and shows that you're a real, genuine human being, you know? Just have a good energy, just seem like a fun, chill person. If you just have good energy and you just seem like a real chill person, I promise you, you're not going to struggle to land roles in this industry, you know? So this is the method. This is extremely powerful how to do it. If you do this, you will start getting replies from these guys. And guess what? The closer is going to know a bunch of other offers that are hiring for people. And then the closer the appointment setter and the sales manager is going to reply to you. If the company is looking for sales reps right now, you will get an interview. Or if not, they probably know a bunch of other offers. We can hop on interviews with them instead and get referred to other offers that are also good in this industry. It's a win-win. So when you get on interviews, what do you actually do? That's the second thing, is like when you're actually on interviews with these businesses, what do you do to actually get the role landed, you know? There's a big thing that a lot of people screw up. They get on interviews, they don't know how to show up, they don't have the right energy, they don't say the right stuff, and then they lose roles, get a bad reputation in the industry, and struggle to succeed in the space, you know? And lose good roles as well. So how to show up. Super important to just internalize the belief that you are capable of figuring shit out once you get into the role, you know? A lot of people screw this up, but they just hold themselves back from landing their first role because they say that they don't have experience, because they lack confidence in themselves and their ability to figure stuff out, you know? The mindset that I want you to internalize to actually land roles is that you say yes to being able to figure everything out. Whatever they ask you, if you're able to handle objections, if you have experience handling X, Y, and Z avatar, you say yes to that stuff because you trust yourself, to be able to come into the role and figure it out as you go in the role. Get mentors, find information online, problem solve. You need to trust in your ability to do those things because that's what's going to allow you to get through the door in the first place, okay? This is how you'll be able to land roles where you're not even qualified to come into the role, but you can come in there without any previous experience. You know, this is how you can land appointment setting roles and closing roles for good companies without needing to have a huge amount of experience. This is exactly how I got into my first role, you know. This is exactly how I landed my first role. I didn't have the most experience. I was probably the most inexperienced person on the interview that I was on, but what I had was an immense amount of hunger, drive, and this conviction in my ability to figure stuff out. And that was something that the interviewer that I was talking with, he saw that, you know, and he trusted me to come in and figure it out. And I landed a role and I got a chance to prove myself in the business, figure it out as I went. So this is a massive takeaway. Keep in mind that if you don't do this, you know, you're not even gonna land a role, you know, but if you do this, you're gonna be able to come in and figure stuff out once you come into the role. And the funny thing is, if you do this, you will force yourself to figure it out. You know, if you come into a role because you've told them that you're capable of doing what they asked you to do, it's going to force you to come in there and get the resources, you know, problem solve, get mentorship, and figure out the way to actually deliver on what you told them that you can deliver on, you know? That's why this works well, because it forces you to level up as a person and just like get to the level that you need to be to actually perform. So I haven't seen other guys talk about this online, which is why I'm making this video, because I want you guys to win. I want you guys to crush it in high-ticket sales. And the old methods and the whole high-ticket sales industry is changing, you know? So if you're still just DMing businesses, hoping for someone to respond and hoping that to change your life, like that is not working anymore. It's not the best way to do things anymore. The high ticket remote sales is changing right now. So if you're still just out there, just focused on volume and just like blasting out messages, realize that the high ticket sales space is evolving. It's changing right now. You need to be up to date to actually like stay with the industry and actually be able to have a chance of getting into it. There are some people right now making a lot of money in high ticket sales, and there's a lot of demand for good people, but most people don't know how to take advantage of this because they're not implementing the stuff that I just told you right now, and that's why they're losing out on roles. And that's why there's a select amount of people in the space, guys like me and the guys that I train, they're making a shit ton of money in high ticket sales, doing better than ever before because they know how to get in contact with good businesses and how to land those roles properly as well. So start applying this stuff today. Start taking action on this stuff. I promise you can change your life. If you want help from me one-on-one to implement this stuff, get coached by me to actually learn sales and get really good at the skill set, get my help to get connected with good offers from my network, and get placed on good high-ticket sales roles, and get coached to actually perform those roles as well. You can apply for coaching from me. You can apply to get one-on-one coaching from me down below this video by booking a call. If you have any questions, DM me on Instagram. I'm happy to help you out and just give you more clarity and answer questions on Instagram. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care. Ciao.